Well, I've been waiting for this particular release to come down to a price that I was prepared to pay anyway. It's three albums on two discs by Cass Elliot. Cass Elliot, The Road Is No Place for a Lady, and Don't Call Me Mama Anymore. It's digitally remastered as solo material, and it's on two CDs. It came out on BGO. Can't see the actual year of this. Oh, here we go. No, 2010. Now, this is the outer sleeve of it, which is a rather nice picture of Cass there. And it gives a breakdown of all the tracks. Disc 1, Cass Elliot, I'll Be Home, Baby I'm Yours, Jesus Was a Crossmaker, that song, When It Doesn't Work Out, I'll Be There, Disney Girls, I Think It's Gonna Rain Today, great song by Randy Newman, Cherry's Jubilee, All in the Game. And then we go on to The Road Is No Place for a Lady. If You're Gonna Break Another Heart, that's a Hammond and Hazelwood song. Saturday Suit, Webb, presumably Jimmy Webb. Does Anybody Love You? Walk Beside Me, All My Life, Say Hello, Who in the World, Love Was Not a Word, Oh Babe, What Would You Say, The Road Is No Place for a Lady. And then we go on to disc 2, Don't Call Me Mama Anymore, Introduction, Dream, Dream a Little Dream of Me, Extraordinary, I Think a Lot About You, Audience Rap, Don't Call Me Mama Anymore, My Love, McCartney song, I'm Coming to the Best Part of My Life, Torch Song Medley, I Came Here to Sing, a Torch Song, I Got Right to Sing the Blues, I've Got It Bad and That Ain't Good, Mean to Me, Why Was I Born, I Came Here to Sing a Torch Song, Reprise, Audience Rap, The Night Before, I Like What I Like, I'll Be Seeing You, Closing, Don't Call Me Mama Anymore, Reprise. Well, I took that off, and this is the 2 CD. Now, inside there's a booklet here with some very interesting essay here by someone I think I can call a friend now anyway, John Tobler, and it was in Washington, UK, in 2010, and that's very interesting. Lots of interesting information there. The lyrics, which is always good. Picture of Cass. I've got all the Mamas and Papas material. That is very interesting there. Lovely photograph of Cass. Now, this is a solo material. She came over in 1974, I think it was. And she'd had, I don't know if it was before the tale I'm going to tell you, which I think I've mentioned on another video. She'd done a sell-out show at the London Palladium, which was great. And she rang Michelle Phillips to say, you know, she was sort of on top of the world and it was all going right. And I think it was that night, 1974, that she went to sleep and she passed away. Now, there's all sorts of cruel things in the media claiming that she choked on a sandwich. She hadn't choked on a sandwich. She'd left, a sandwich had been left there untouched, and she'd had a massive heart attack. She was a large lady, and that's all that there is to it. That actually, the place that it happened was flat. Bit of a history to this, actually, that Harry Nilsson owned, and of course Keith Moon died there, which I think that was some time after. Anyway, she'd rung Michelle Phillips. She was really, you know, buoyed up by the response she'd got on this tour, and sadly she was to be no more. But I hasten to add, when I lived at my father's house, well, my parents' house, as it was at this time, there was a theatrical boarding house there, and all sorts of people stayed there that played at the night out. They played at various places in Birmingham, cabaret and so on and so forth. And it was owned and run by a couple called the Clackers. It sounds a bit of a comedic name, doesn't it? But there was John Clacker and there was Joan Clacker, and Joan Clacker had been a pianist in pubs years before, and a very good pianist, so I'm told. Anyway, they'd got this big semi-detached house, and they just let it out to people staying over. The food was very good, the accommodation was very good. Anyway, the one day through the door came the post, and a letter came for Mrs. Clacker. So my father took it, read the front, and he said, you better take this up to Joan Clacker's. And I went up, knocked the door, and John Clacker answered the door, a very affable man. And I said, there's a letter here for your wife. It's come by mistake to us. And they owned a very scruffy mongrel called Rover. And this dog had not been done, so it was after every bitch in the area. And it had a bit of a notorious reputation, but I thought it was a funny dog, you know. And anyway, Mr. Clacker said to me, just go through to the kitchen. Joan will be down in a minute. So I went through to the kitchen, and I could hear footsteps about, and I saw this door which was open, and there, sat on a chair, was Cass Elliot, with Rover, who was Joan Clacker's dog, sat on Cass Elliot's knee, and she was stroking this dog, you know, as though he was the most angelic dog in the world. He wasn't, and he was well known for doing his business in front of people's houses, but still, that's a little bit of another tale. Anyway, I saw Cass Elliot there, and she said, hello, how are you? And I said, thank you, very well, thank you. I really enjoy your music. Got several of the albums. That's great. Are you coming to see me on tour? I said, I'm afraid not. I can't this time. Well, it's very nice to meet you. You know, she's a very charming lady. Then Joan Clacker came down, and she said, thank you ever so much for bringing this up. I've been waiting for this to come through the post. So that was the end of that brief encounter there. And then a couple of nights later, my father and I had got off the bus, and there was a chip shop down by where we lived called Mustafa Chip. And they were called Mustafa. And it was named Mustafa Chip because years and years before, there was a show on television called On the Braden Beat, and Esther Ranson featured in this programme. I can't remember whether she was a runner or whichever. Anyhow, they were doing a thing live in Birmingham at the Midlands Arts Centre, and it was who is selling the best chips in Birmingham. So a couple of friends and I were sat in the cafeteria area, and we were asked, well, would we try, see what we think? And then they could go through, well, Esther Hansen, went through, and the results were a Mustafa chip was chosen as the best chips in Birmingham. And, of course, because the shop was not very far from us, I didn't know it was their shop anyway. We went in, and somehow or other they knew that I was one of the people that had rated them as the best. So whenever I went in that chip shop, I got an extra portion, or a larger portion of chips, and sometimes a free bit of fish as well, things like that. Very nice people, and they had another chip shop somewhere else. Anyway, moving on a little bit further than that, my father and I got off the bus one evening we'd been to, I think we'd been to the wrestling. I took her to the wrestling at Digbeth Civic Hall. We got off and he said, oh, we'll both have chips and a chicken and mushroom pie each. Great. Yeah, good idea, Dad, since I paid for the tickets. So we went in, and who should be there with her back to me but Cass Elliot. This was on from me delivering the letter. And my father sees she's having a portion doled out of chips, doled out to her. And there's a man with her as well. Presumably it was the, I don't know, driver or something. And my father, crass as he always was throughout life, he said, you want to be careful, love. Don't eat too many of those. You'll put a load of weight on. You know when somebody says something and you want to fall through the floor. Anyway, she turned round and sort of half smiled, and she didn't say anything because she was much too polite, unlike my father, having said that. And she went out. She obviously didn't, recognise me, and clicked. And I said to my dad, I said, how could you say something like that? I said, that's Cass Elliot from the Mamas and the Papas. Oh, is it? Oh, I just thought it was a big lady, that's all. He knew it was Cass Elliot. And I thought, that's cruel. And unfortunately, he did things like that throughout life. He'd go mad if somebody said it to him. Anyway, there you are. There's my little anecdote. This double CD, if you like her material, please dig out a copy of this. You may be able to get a copy on eBay, cheap. I think I got mine on Amazon, and there was like a reduction on it or something that day. But it's worth having. If you look on YouTube, you may find her in a television show, and she's singing Gilbert O'Sullivan, and it's Alone Again, naturally. I don't know if she ever recorded that, I'm not sure, but I did speak to a friend of mine, Jane, years ago, and she spoke to Gilbert O'Sullivan, whom she's friendly with, and mentioned it to him, and she managed to get me the video. It was a bit grainy, but unfortunately I haven't got it now, so I'll have to look out, see if I can find it along on YouTube. So I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please tick a like, and if you've not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. I don't get any money out of it, but it's nice to know that you're watching the videos, and hopefully you are enjoying them as well. Okay, take care. Have a great day. Bye.